SO, bridge.
Bridge, okay, go ahead.
We are about to start our crossing today of the infamous Drake Passage to Elephant Island, where we have to recover the long-term landers, Dana and Onyx.
The long-term landers were deployed towards the end of leg 1. With oceanography, it's really important to get at least a tidal period. Otherwise, the fluctuations we can't really attribute to anything particular because we don't have that full context. So that's why we have these long-term landers which are getting weeks of data as opposed to hours of data.
Release!
The long-term landers are measuring current speed and direction for the bottom 300 metres. They're measuring pressure and temperature on a mooring line and various other sensors on it in terms of physical characteristics and movement. And that's part of a bigger project. When we were in Tonga, it feels weird how it can be 35 degrees on the surface but only 1.8 degrees on the seafloor. And that's because the Antarctic water is coming down. So over the last year and a half, we've been analysing deep water masses we've been seeing in other places. And here we are right at the very source of it.
055? Yeah.
It's still one of the really big questions in physical oceanography, how this bottom mix layer moves and changes and due to what processes. So we're hoping that we'll be able to capture some of that. First one to come up is Dana. Zeno's just getting it under tow. We'll bring it back on board and hopefully get a good amount of data.
Yeah!
Dana had on it a ADCP that uses acoustics to bounce off moving particles in the water. So I know this might look a little bit like gibberish, but you can see the different velocity ranges. What it does is measure the speed and direction of the currents at least every 10 seconds. So we can collect bespoke high-frequency information around these areas that there's simply not been data like this collected before. Leave that for you. Perfect. And that is complementing our thermistor string, which is the temperature and pressure sensors. This is a RBR duet. These are rated to 10,000 metres, which is really cool. I'll be able to get all 8 of them that are all along the mooring line and get a big spatial picture of what the temperature is doing at all these different depths, which is pretty cool. We've also got an oxygen and turbidity sensor on there now as well. So it's kind of a case of complementing all the different sensors with each other.
Setting the line.
These instruments take a lot of funding to get and a lot of funding to be able to put in the water. So to be able to have both of those opportunities is really exciting. The amount of data that we collect means that I can't always process it straight away. So I'm looking forward to having a better look at the long-term data, but I can say one thing. From processing the ADCP data, I can see that the current direction and speed is sort of changing with the fluctuations in the day. Whether that be from krill or things in the water column, I didn't expect there would be that much movement. It does mean that there are questions to be answered, and we're in the position where we can contribute to answering those questions.